Welcome to Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports, where husky middle-aged men share insight on the latest Baltimore sports news. From the bank to the yard and beyond, we're breaking down the Ravens, Orioles, Terps, and more. Baltimore's best sports podcast starts right now.
Good evening. Happy Tuesday. Jason, John, and Mike here with Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports. As always, we are brought to you by the Park. See, I did it. I'm telling you.
Oh my
Guys, I need to put this right here. Spark Podcast Network. Fellas, how's it going? Mike, you look like you just came from a photo shoot.
Yeah. Who would want to take a picture of this face for those of you who watch on Facebook Live? No, it was my daughter's soccer team. That's a big trend. I don't know if you guys have experienced that with your youth sports teams, but especially with the girls, they want to do a team photo shoot where they get the old umbrella and the special lighting, and they throw the ball up in the air and they catch them, freeze frame, and they throw confetti, and now all the offenses together and all the defenses together. And so I was in the midst. It was supposed to be 6 to 7:30. It was like 7:45, and I'm like, I got to get out of here. I got a big podcast, really important. And so luckily a parent helped me out and is going to bring my daughter home. They are still in the midst of photo shoot.
It takes a village, everyone. It takes a village. I don't know what that's like, but it takes a village. All right. So I don't know if the photo shoot is like a teenage girl thing or if it's just an athlete thing. I know that my daughter, it's like any chance she gets, whether she takes a friend on vacation or like for her birthday, they had to all leave the beach, hurry up, leave the beach, get dressed, get showered, all that stuff, come back to the beach at sunset and take pictures. And they all had to be cute pictures. It's like a big professional photo shoot. John, when was your last photo shoot?
My last photo shoot? I don't know. I had to get insurance because their camera broke. So I don't want to. Very cute, John. Don't want to have that. Don't want to have that happen again. So.
Don't you have to get headshots and stuff and official pictures and things?
I haven't got a headshot in probably, I don't know, 6 years. I don't do that kind of stuff. But guys, I did see Mike and Jason. You guys, I know you like chicken. I saw my kids were trying to get me to buy chicken nuggets shaped like 6s and 7s.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
6, 7 chicken nuggets. Have you guys seen these?
I have not. I did not know this was a thing. That's incredible.
That doesn't surprise me in any way. It doesn't surprise me in any way that someone is capitalizing financially on this ridiculous thing that kids are doing. Yes.
Yes. Why didn't we do that? See, I'm jealous. I wish I would have done that. And then I wouldn't be sitting.
We could just need new numbers, like a 4-5 or a 1-9. Can we do something else, or is that already taken?
You got to be careful about those numbers, Mike.
Oh, well, Mike.
You got to be careful which numbers you're picking.
Yeah, this is very true.
But Jason, I wouldn't expect you to know about these chicken nuggets because they don't actually technically come from a farm.
Well, they don't have chicken in them. Probably that's the problem with the chicken nuggets.
Rib meat.
That's probably why I don't know.
rib meat talons.
Oh God.
That's what I had, boys.
Cheers. There's actually I was going to say this to you before. They're expensive, but there's actually a pretty clean chicken nugget. It's called Bear or something, and they also make patties. They make spicy chicken nuggets, spicy chicken tenders, regular, and they make spicy patties and regular. I think it's Bear or something or other. Look that up, John. But yeah, no, that's
like Bear Naked, like BARE,
yeah,
or
I believe so. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. It's like a green and white bag, I think.
Yes, be careful searching for that, John. Just be careful.
Yeah,
yes,
do it, John.
So it's called JustBearChicken.com. You can buy it at Target, Walmart, Sam's Club, Whole Foods,
Costco,
Publix. Publix, wherever you get your chicken nuggets. And we're going to clip this little segment and tag them in it and see if we can get a sponsorship deal.
Outstanding. I would love that. All right. We eat them all the time because they're like I said, pretty clean. Okay, I have a rant that or not really a rant, just something I wanted to pose to the group. So my daughter is playing volleyball. She's on. They have a varsity and a JV team in middle school, just like they do in high school. And she made the varsity team as an eighth grader, and she is their libero, and she's the only libero. So she's going to be getting a lot of playing time this year, and it's the main cog. Well, the coach sent out like there was always some stuff last year about playing time. Like these kids would bust their butts in practice, and it wouldn't change anything that they did. They still didn't see playing time, and regardless of how much like the some of the starters struggled, nothing ever changed. So it was a little frustrating, but it's like okay, take my parent hat off, put on my coaching hat. I get it to an extent, but I still disagree with the whole philosophy on it, whether it was my child or not. Well, my child is one of the ones that is going to play an awful lot. Well, they came out tonight at their meeting and said that we don't have enough people to transport the kids. So only the varsity or the JV kids, since the games are first, will get transported, and we need the parents to help bring the kids to the games. Fine, no big deal. Well, they wrote out of this piece of paper the kids that will be playing the most, and they said if their names are at the top, they're going to be playing no matter what every single game. And if they're on this section, they probably won't be playing. And I'm like, what in the hell? I'm like, how can you do this? What about doing good at practice and earning playing time? Why practice? Like, why not even show up? I'd be so like, talk about taking your parent hat off because my kid's playing. I couldn't disagree with this more. I mean, Mike, you were an AD, you're a coach, you're a parent. Like, I could not think that you would agree with this at all.
Yeah, that's not what we would call best practice for something like that. No. Um, even gone are the days of posting names on doors and water coolers. Like, honestly, coaches are encouraged to have individual conversations with players when they make cuts and things like that. In no world should you ever advertise permanent players or permanent substitutes. It's just a horrible, horrible decision. Unless, I mean, when I don't know about you, Jason, but back in middle school, you weren't at middle school where we went to high school, but I made the home basketball team. So I didn't travel when there are away games, but that was a decision that was made like at the very beginning of the season, and it was explained to me, and like it was very clear. So unless there are conversations that piece shouldn't happen. Number two, they should never post that the way they posted that. That needs to be like that. It's just egregious because there's nobody who should be made to feel that way as far as a student athlete seeing their name like that, or a parent having to see that as well as a means. Plus, what's going on down there in Florida where we can't transport all our kids places, man?
Yeah, I mean it's a little Christian school, and I get it.
Okay.
The one thing I will say, there's two things here. One is the fact that they can transport the kids means that they did keep a lot more kids than they didn't make cuts. Everyone made the teams. That's also a problem because if you're not going to cut these kids and you just have kids that are supposed to show up, put all the work in, but they're never going to see the floor, that creates a problem too. So for me, it's the only positive thing I can see here is there is a little bit of clarity for some of the parents. And if the parents want to pull their kids, that's fine. But there's clarity as far as like, okay, my kid's on this list. I was going to try to take off of work and make it to the game, or I had to get babysit. Like for us, like last year, we had to take Cole, and Cole doesn't sit. Cole wants to run around the court, and it takes two of us to like entertain him. Because I mean, that's so fun. What do you want to do? Watch people play volleyball? I don't care who you are. That's boring as a child. So we had to make all these arrangements. So I was upset. So there is a little bit of clarity for some of these other people now. But John, I mean, to me, that's the only good thing about it, even if that is a good thing.
Well, it takes all incentive out, like you said, to practice. Like, obviously your best players are still going to be your best players, but your sixth, seventh, eighth person, you know, you could become better, and it takes out incentives for the kids who aren't in that spot to work hard. So I disagree with this total. Like I can see you doing it like on a game by game basis. I could see, Peggy Sue, Lacey, Allie, Elizabeth, and Lucy are all starting this game. So you guys need to be here early and doing it on a game by game basis. But just saying at the start of the season, these 6 are going to be our starters, and that's the way life's going to roll. That's not the way middle school sports should be. I mean, I could see a high school, a state championship, team having their 6 starters or something to start the year, but not a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade volleyball team. I think this is ridiculous.
Well, and I don't have a problem with anyone naming your starters. That's okay. You want to name your starters, even if you don't name them, everyone knows who your starters are most of the time. My point is, what if somebody has a bad practice? What if someone's sick? What if they're, you're not giving any incentive to continue to work hard or to continue to do it. And you know what? I mean, last year, what they did with the JV and varsity soccer teams is they had some of the varsity players like Allie and whatnot, the 7th graders and the 6th graders that were on varsity go down and play JV. Well, you know what that did? Yeah, did they get more reps? Right. But that hurt the JV players because when they came time for their playoffs, they didn't know how to play without those girls. So come on, guys, we can do a better job here. I guarantee you, though, I am one of the very few parents that even think this way. Everyone was like, okay, fine, my kid's not going to play. Okay, good. Even my own wife was like, at least there's clarity. I kind of appreciate that. And I was like, but you're missing the point. We need to teach these kids to work hard, everyone. Work hard. So children, if you're out there, continue to work hard despite what everyone's telling you around you. That's my message. Okay. My dad bod question of the day, guys, based on what I'm eating over here in the corner, and I'm almost done, so I apologize, everyone, if I'm eating here on Facebook. It's been a long day. I want to know your favorite wing flavor, your favorite chicken wing flavor, John. You may go first.
Oh, it's a tough one because I love the Asian zing at Buffalo Wild Wings, but I also love like just a classic buffalo. Just a classic, like not incredibly spicy, but not mild. So somewhere kind of like a medium, maybe a little bit spicier than medium.
I know what Mike's going to say. I already know what Mike's going to say, but I'll let him go anyway. Go ahead, Mike.
John, it's okay to be wrong. I mean, we're all wrong sometimes. No, my favorite, and it's not just because we're sponsored by Dad Bob's Crab Case of Sport, whatever. What do we call it? Bad Bob's? Bad Bob's?
Bye, 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 bye.
Bad Bob's. Bad Bob Crab Cake. Honey Old Bay wings. That's where it's at. And if they're dripping with honey and they're warm and the Old Bay is sticking to that honey and it's all congealed, I can dip it in there. Give me some blue cheese or ranch. I don't care. I like both of them. Bam. That's how a wing's supposed to be made.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like that would essentially, because that's actually what I had tonight, honey Old Bay, but with like hot red peppers, and like I dipped it in buffalo sauce. So like I like to mix a bunch of different kinds. I like the buffalo. I do like an Asian flavored wing, but I also like, Old Bay honey. Mike, you're right on that one. I like all kinds of different ones though. So that's probably my go-to. Well, that was the Dad Bod's question of the day. All right, fellas. I guess first up, let's talk O's. All right, big couple series coming here, guys. If ever there was a push to make it interesting to see if they can make it to the playoffs, would be these next 3 series. We have St. Louis. I don't know in which order. Yeah, St. Louis, Sacramento to play the A's and the Rockies. This is your, if they come out of here not so good, this could change the whole trajectory of the season. I mean, John, what are your thoughts? What do they have to do in these next 3 series record-wise to get out of, to keep themselves in contention? Is it 3 games at each place, by the way, or is it more?
Yes, 3-3-3.
So nine games. Okay. What do they have to do record-wise over the 9 games to keep themselves in contention or pull themselves away?
They have to win 6. They have to win all 3 series with, 2-1, obviously 2-1 records, because 3 and 3 is 9, and to take 3 away, that's 6. So they got to go 6-3 to have a shot. I had looked up who the other wild card I mean, everybody in the AL is in the wild card except for the A's. So,
Well, they're 2.5 games back right now. They're two and a half
yeah,
games back.
yeah. So
That's a
we got to
lot.
go. We got to go 6-3. And right now it's no outs in the bottom of the second inning, 0-0.
Who's pitching tonight?
Bassett. We
Bassett.
gave up.
Very good.
We had first and third, nobody out in the first inning on a throwing error by the pitcher and a single by Pete. We popped out, struck out.
Gosh darn it, man! I don't care how you get out; you're still getting out.
So Andrew
man.
says Honey Old Bay, and Jeremy Fritz says Old Bay wings for the win.
Hey, well done. Hey, Cordula, remember those Old Bay wings from High Tops? Those are my favorite old times, actually. They're not really Honey Old Bay. Those are just Old Bay. Those are the best wings. We used to have those a lot before softball and after softball. Maybe a couple libations, too. I don't remember, actually. Go ahead, Mike. Your thoughts. What record do you think they need to have coming out of here?
I mean, I honestly, the way that the American League is this year, I think they could go 5-4 and still technically be in it. But I don't think that's really in it. I think if they have any real chance, John's probably right. They have to go 6-3. John, did you hear that? I said you're probably right. Did you hear that?
Absolutely.
Can you clip that, Jason, so that is so we have that for future episodes?
It's just so few times.
I know. So anyway, my point, John, you said they got to go 2-1, 2-1. I could see them going like 1-2 in St. Louis, and then sweeping one of the two series, either in what's it, Sacramento or Colorado, and then going 2-1 in the other series. That would probably be the most plausible outcome to me. Though they do have Bradish and Rogers going in the second and third game of this series in St. Louis, so we've got a couple horses on the mound. I think Bassett sets the tone tonight. They haven't given up any runs yet. I know it's early, but if Bassett can sneak a win tonight, that does a whole lot, I think, to start this road trip, especially with Rogers and, like I said, Bradish and Rogers, excuse me. I think it's Bradish then Rogers in the wings, ready to go with the second and third games of this series. Colorado and Sacramento, those are winnable games. Like, you've got to win at least 2 out of 3 in both of those. If you don't, you're just putting yourself behind the 8 ball, because you come back home and you play a bunch of AL East guys that are good baseball teams. I mean, I don't think there's anybody great this year. There's anybody that can't beat, but they've got to play better baseball. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, so St. Louis is not a bad baseball team. They're actually a better team record-wise than the Orioles. They're a 500 team in a tough Central with the Brewers and the Cubs and the Pirates who are better this year. I mean, I wouldn't write this off. I mean, I have a prediction what I think they need to win, but I just so you guys are aware, Colorado and Sacramento are a combined 61 games below 500. So you have to almost sweep them. Is it realistic? I don't know. I'm saying they need to go 7-2 and they have to put their foot down a little bit moving forward and ride some momentum. Maybe they go on a 9-game win streak again. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility here. They played some good teams. They played the 2 top teams in the American League East. And I mean, the Yankees were the Yankees, but played them close. And then Tampa played them close and beat the crap out of them for the most part. Would they end up with 9 wins and 4 losses in the year, or 5 losses in the year? I mean, that's great.
8-4, I think.
8-4. What?
They're 8-4. 8-4.
Oh, I think you said 8-4. I'm like, how did you get 8?
No, 8-4. So like as I look at the schedule here, guys. So right now above us are the Blue Jays, the Twins, and the Astros. So the Blue Jays are playing Kansas City. The Twins are playing the A's, and then the Astros are playing the Yankees. So in the next 3 games, our best bet is that the Astros get beat, because I think that the Twins are playing the A's and the Jays are playing the Royals. So I think we're gonna have to take this series at least. If we could sweep this, that'll help us immensely.
But Cleveland has the last wild card right now. They're at 500 and they're playing the Angels, I think, this weekend or this week, I guess. So
Yes.
don't forget them, and that's the one I think Jason, you and I originally said it's going back and forth a million times. Like Seattle, Cleveland. Who said one of you guys said Cleveland? I thought
I
was
did.
yeah, Cleveland was the team, and right now they're hovering at 500, right in the thick of things.
Yeah, I mean, and Cleveland comes to Baltimore at the end of the season, I think for 3 or 4. I don't remember how many. But John, one thing I'll kind of disagree on is like I'm not watching what these other teams are doing because it all starts here. It starts at home. If you can't get out of your own way and you're making errors and dumb decisions, if you can't score a run with runners on first and third and no outs, good heavens, man, you don't belong in the playoffs. So I'm not worried about what everybody else is doing. I mean, as far as like playoff percentage, hope, what I think, I mean, gosh, I don't know if I can put a number on it, guys. Like, I'll throw out a 20% chance, I guess. I mean, I still don't think they're going to make it, just because I think there's too many other teams ahead of them right now. But I could be wrong. They're right in it with everybody else. So I could be wrong, but that would be my prediction that they just miss out on it by a couple games. Mike, do you have any thoughts?
Well, you've got at least 6 teams battling for that last wild card spot. So, what's the fraction 1/6, John? You a math guy?
Isn't that 33?
Yep.
So, I mean, that's like a 15% chance, maybe. I'll give them a 15% chance to make the playoffs, and that's optimistic, probably. Um, I don't think even if they make the playoffs, I don't feel like this team is poised. I understand that it just doesn't matter once you get in, um, but like if they, the only thing that would keep me hopeful is the fact that if Blaze came back and was Blaze like he was earlier this year, and if Batista came back in some way, shape, or form, and like he might not be the same closer he was previously, but if he was 3/4 of what he used to be, like that gives me a little bit of hope. That's that glimmer of hope. Maybe if everything came together perfectly, but the odds of all that happening are very low.
I mean, what if Helsley comes back and Batista comes back and they do something like a hey guys, we're gonna do. I mean, it's at least still Batista's where he needs to be, where they say, hey, like let's just do this every other night. Why? We're not going to pitch you guys both in the same games. Let's not mess with Helsley's head like the Mets did and try to pitch him in the 8th inning. Like something was going on. Just alternate them. Give them rest. They're both banged up. You know, like that's just a thought. The good news is when Blaze does come back, Edward Encarnacion Strand has. I mean, I don't think you lost anything from Blaze to him other than the fact that Blaze can play other positions and that he has some speed. They're both going to play still. And I think Blaze is going to play more outfield than anything else. That would be my thought. Maybe they put him in center field because clearly that needs an upgrade still, unless you have Cowser out there. So there's other things to do. I mean, I would love for them to make a run because I do think if more than anything, what if they get it and they win the first? So this is so hard for me because there's incentive for ownership to have your team in the playoffs. It's called more money. Okay, more exposure, more money, more ads, more butts in the seats if you get to that certain level of the playoffs. I'm not so sure if they make the playoffs or if they had a chance to do it and they're real close. Ownership's going to be real happy with Mike Elias. And I still say that he might be a fall guy at the end of this whole thing because I'm not so sure they're going to be very happy with it, knowing all you had to do was make a couple little moves. Instead, you sold off, which I don't think. I also don't think that those pieces they sold off really would have made isn't going to make an overall difference. Even Adley guys, I'm kind of coming off that a little bit. So I'm just wondering if the big thing, Mike, and I know you were on this one, is they had to make additions. They didn't. So whatever they get, they did it to themselves. The slow start combined with not adding help at the end, they did it to themselves. John, did you want to add anything to this? What are your thoughts on the playoffs?
I I think it's kind of a coin flip. It really is going to just depend on if our starters can continue to go 6, 7 innings. See, did it again. 6, 7 innings of 3-run baseball. Can we bring Blaze back and insert him somewhere in the lineup? Because he's hitting over 300. He just doesn't have a. He's what did Connor say on Locked On Orioles this morning? He was like third in the league in hitting or something like that.
Yes,
Mike?
Mike.
Yes, Mike.
Update: 3-0 Orioles. Pete Alonso
Who-
homers on a fly ball. 3-run.
Oh my gosh, I'm behind this, Mike. I'm watching it on the phone, and because it's streaming, it's a little hard.
It was on my app. John usually does that, so I felt my inner John like stewing inside of me that I needed to update the world. that
I'm
the Orioles
sorry.
were on the board.
My
I'm
goodness.
sorry, Mike.
John, did you want to finish your thought?
Sorry, John.
No, I just it's gonna have to be something with the bats because the pitching has been there. The pitching has been there, and getting those two back, getting Cano or getting excuse me Cano, getting Helsley and Bautista back should give a boost to that bullpen. But again, I think not having the lefty though in there because Mike's favorite guy Wolfgram just hasn't performed. He just he hasn't performed, and then that's where the issues are going to become is do we have enough guys in the bullpen? Can Sanders stay the same guy he's been, or is he going to revert back to the Pittsburgh Sanders? And then are Helsley and Bautista going to be able to hold that back into that bullpen together? And can we score 4 runs? Like that's the big question: is can we score 4 runs? If we can score 4 runs, we're going to win a ton of baseball games. If we can't ask for more from your starting pitching.
I mean, maybe because eventually you're gonna have to bring in your bullpen, right? Like it's just. But I'm with you, John. Like if the starting pitching can hold up, okay. So all three of us are in agreement that it's going to be a tough road, but it's not impossible. It's not impossible. Okay, I think I'd be shocked if all of us don't agree on this one. But if the season ended today, who is your MVP? Your Orioles MVP voted on by I guess the media and everybody like that. John, did you want to go? And why?
Well, it has to be Pete. It has to be. I mean, the guy we started slow and there was some questions among the Baltimore media and the fans and things if it was a good signing and blah blah blah. And since the middle of May, he's just exploded. This team would not be even in the position that it's in without his 31 home runs, his leadership and everything else. Plus, if he doesn't win a Gold Glove at first base, then somebody needs to be fired.
Well, I don't know if he'll win a Gold Glove or not. He's certainly put himself in that position for sure. I mean, and I still stand by the fact that he should receive some MVP votes. John, are you having a coronary?
Yes, CES just hit a homer too, so now it's 4-0.
There you go. Just like Blaze Alexander, Mike. Okay. So, yeah, I think he'll get MVP votes anyway. I mean, is he going to win it? No, but he'll get votes, and he deserves to have votes. So, I mean, it's an easy one for me. It's definitely Pete Alonso. It's also like John said on his leadership and like the fact that he came in. I said this last week. He came in. He said, "Okay, I'll be the face of this team. All these young guys get on my back and let's go." And you know what? He's damn near kept them in this race, but him and the starting pitching. Mike, do you have someone else in mind, or what do you think?
No, I mean, I think Pete Alonso is the clear-cut guy. It's just that no one else has really performed up to their ability in that lineup. Besides Pete Alonso, you could argue Blaze, but Blaze has been out for a long period of time, and MVP is season long. And you could maybe Brandon Young should get at least a little bit of consideration because I think he kind of came from nowhere, considering he probably wasn't part of your original starting rotation if you really look back into the offseason. And everything that he has done has been nothing but solid all year long. And I'm super impressed. I did not know that Brandon Young had that in him. I know he had that 1 or 2 good games last year where you could see the top end talent, but the consistency has blown me away this year. And he's pitched like a veteran pitcher. and he's kept them in a lot of baseball games. I don't remember what their record is in the games that he's pitched, but it's something astronomical.
It
So if you
is.
wanted to give a second place MVP beyond Pete, I think maybe you'd have to consider Brandon Young.
No, that's a good one. I mean, it really is. It's tough, but I do agree with you, Mike. It's like who, if not Pete, who? And I mean, and they take this into account, like how they handle themselves in the media and how they do everything too. I mean, he's like straight A's across the board for me. Okay, last question on the Orioles. Mike, you put in here that you wanted to know one player the O's most need to sign. Do you mean sign, trade, or just sign?
I said, I can't remember how I phrased it. It was one
You
player that
said
they need to
sign,
sign or
comma,
re-sign.
resign. Yeah.
Yeah, so one player that they need to either sign or re-sign, that is the missing ingredient maybe for next season as far as what this team needs. So that tells me it could be someone who we need to up on and just kind of like continue and just say, hey, we need this guy for longer, or someone outside the organization. And obviously, I'm not expecting you guys to know who is a free agent at this point or any of that. So feel free to be creative with your answers.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if you're staying within the organization, I think it's important that you sign Trevor Rogers. I still stand behind that. I mean, that would give you a really formidable staff with these young guys in the minors that are pitching very well, the guys that they just acquired. It will allow you to keep them down a little bit. It'll also like allow you to ignore the starters, and focus on everything else, which you do need help on. If I'm going outside the organization, Randy Rosarina would probably go to the top for me because I think you need outfield help. Unless you're going to do something else and like maybe go through a trade, but you need outfield help. And Randy's good. And I mean, there's Bo Bichette that's always intriguing to me. Hopefully, you have Jordan Westberg coming back so you can get Bo Bichette light there. Um, Ronald Acuna is a free agent with a club option. That would be a very interesting situation out there. I think that is a pipe dream. But for me, if I had to choose, like I would be working on the outfield. I would get Randy Rosarina. John, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I think Rogers is a must. You have to resign Rogers. But then in the outfield, I thought Randy too. I really like Randy. I've seen him play when he was here in Tampa. He's a good. The team seems to like him. The fans like him. And he's a good ball player. But I think just kind of depending on how things roll, Trent Grisham would be the guy that I would want to go after if he does not resign with the Yankees. Give us a solid center fielder. That way you can put Cowser in one side or the other. But then the other thing that we need, and this is not sexy, this isn't a huge, wow, we got this guy. But somebody like AJ Minter or David Peterson, they're both high quality left-handed relievers that if we're gonna go out, we need to get a left-handed reliever or two for that bullpen. The outfield and the left-handed reliever in the bullpen are the two weakest areas. And Blaze is still signed for 2 more years, right?
6 years.
6 years.
He has
Okay.
6 years
Okay.
of
That
control.
I'm sorry, I couldn't remember how long he was signed for because that man needs to be locked and safe here. But no, I think an outfielder. I like the Randy, and then left-handed reliever of some sort.
And I don't know what type of control they have over uh, Encarnacion Strand, but that's a nice little piece if you can hold on to it. Mike, your turn.
Yeah, I tend to, if I'm thinking within the team, agree with Jason. Trevor Rogers, I think, would be a huge signing for this team. Number one, it gives you a lefty. Number two, what are the odds that all four of those guys stay healthy over the course of next season? So really, to me, I always think it's one less than you have. So we have at least three solid starters, hopefully going into next year, depending on what happens with everybody else, and that sets you up for the future. Now, I like the Arozarena idea. I think the idea of an outfielder who can hit a little bit for average and power would be great. Um, I love like Stephen Kwan type guy, just an on base outfield guy that plays good defense. anybody who fits that mold to me is the missing ingredient offensively to this team. To give some padding in front of Pete in the lineup, to give him somebody to drive in, and to get consistently on base. I mean, if you're looking at young guys, what about like a James Wood with the Washington Nationals? Like that guy's a right fielder. He gets on base, a ton. I think he's got a 393 on base percentage. Plays good defense. He's a budding superstar. I know it's probably a pipe dream, but you know what? The O's got a haul in young players in their farm system, so it's not impossible that they could do something like that or swing something like that.
Yeah, I mean I don't think it's just one piece. I think there's a couple little ones. And it's, if anything, Mike and John, I mean, what about Dalton Varsho? I mean, for the mere fact that they need a glove and he's a elite defender. And yes, I mean, I thought this year was going to be his breakout year. Unfortunately, he had a bunch of injuries this year. Something like that. Like, I think that they will, if they don't, then we have bigger problems. But they need to identify how to fix this team defensively, and then also fix it from within offensively, as far as that goes. But we have plenty of time to do that. Yes, young.
So,
Jonathan.
guys, there's a bunch of high quality second basemen on the market.
Why do you need a second baseman?
Free agent. Well, we don't. But I'm saying then if you get a second baseman, then you can move Jackson to third or vice versa. But you have Gleyber Torres. He's only 29. You have Jeff McNeil. Luis Arias is back on the market. Jazz Chisholm, Jonathan India, and Edmundo Sosa. So you got a few options there if they want to, move. Assuming, like we said, we don't know what Strand, Encarnacion Strand's contract is, but if we want to upgrade second base and move Jackson to third, that's always an option too. We talked about that.
I just don't see the point. I mean, I talked about it like in season, but if you have Jordan Westburg coming back and he's going to play, I mean, he plays a better third base than he does second base. He'd much rather play over there. And Jackson gets used to second base. I mean, we're assuming that, I mean, Gunnar Henderson, I don't know how many errors he has this year, but it's a lot. Maybe he moves over. Maybe you do a switch and you move him to third. You move Westburg to second and Holiday to short. I don't know. I'm not too concerned with like bringing in a second baseman. If you are, you bring in defense, and just build your depth continually as well. At least that's my thoughts. John, do you want to tell everybody? Oh my God!
Encarnacion Strand is a free agent. He signed a 1-year, $820,000 minor league deal with the Orioles. So he'll be a free agent as well.
John, I'm going to kill you.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you.
So when you were growing up in a classroom, and I know you're like the son of a teacher and whatnot, teachers, were you the kid that always got yelled at for speaking out in class and not raising their hand and just doing all that? Did you do that a lot?
I got in trouble for I was the quiet kid in the class in the back room, back of the room. I never.
Maybe take over that role on the show. That'd be great.
Yeah. Okay.
So moving on.
I'll go to the corner.
All right, but I do need you to speak on this one. So, John, I need you to tell everyone where they can find us.
So you can find us on sparkpodcast.com. You can also find us on YouTube at Dadbods Crab Cakes and Sports, Facebook, Instagram, Dadbods Crab Cakes and Sports, on the X, on the old Twitter at crabcakes_sports. You can also email us at dadbodscrabcakesandsports at gmail.com. We'd love to hear what you have to say and anything that you guys would like to hear us talk about on the show. And again, we're brought to you by the Spark Podcast Network, and we appreciate them and all their help.
Outstanding. Also, guys, please let us know who the Orioles need to add, subtract, sign, trade for to be better. And please be realistic. And don't be John and say they need to bring in Terrence Scoble and Ronald Acuna and Mark McGwire, and they'll be great. Let's be realistic, but also be smart. All right, let's pivot, guys, over to the Ravens. And Mike wrote Ravens Rundown. Oh, that's exciting. We're going to do the Ravens Rundown. First, undrafted rookie Ethan Burke is turning lots of heads in camp, fellas. Another linebacker, I believe, and he is poised to make this team potentially. Is this a case, John, of another Ravens undrafted rookie making the team?
I think so. I think he's got a very good shot. Again, like we talked about the other day on Sunday. It's just going to be a matter of you only got 53 roster slots. Are you going to keep 3 quarterbacks? You're going to keep an extra linebacker. You're going to keep an extra safety. How are they going to do that? And who is going to be able to be stuck on the practice squad? So that's going to be the big question. Because if they keep 3 quarterbacks, okay, then one of those linebackers or safeties is not going to be on the 53 man. But if they keep 2 quarterbacks, try to stash one on the practice squad, then I think that's where, but Ethan Burke definitely has said, made them think, okay, now what are we going to do? Or do we move on from somebody? Do we move on from Simpson? We've given him almost 4 years we gave him starters playing time when Queen left, and what happened? Nothing. He didn't perform. So, even if they hold the 3rd quarterback, they move on from Simpson or somebody else.
Okay, very good point, John. Mike, what are your thoughts? I mean, I think they may have something here. For me, with the uncertainty with Teddy Buchanan, how fast he's going to recover and come out, I don't think you could hurt having more depth at that linebacker position. And I think they're only going to go with 3 running backs, so I think you could free up a spot there. I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback, but for me, I wouldn't want this guy to go away. I think this could be the guy.
Well, right now, if you're looking at the Ravens depth chart, and I'm on BaltimoreRavens.com, he's listed as a Sam linebacker, and in front of him are the following players: Tavius Robinson, Zion Young, Adisa Isaac. Okay, so Adisa Isaac hasn't really been able to stay healthy. So to me, if he outplays Isaac, I would take Burke, because Isaac has shown the inability to have the most important ability, which is availability, right? So to me, I would see that happening. Zion Young is a high draft pick. He will be on this. He will be on this team, no doubt about it. Tavius Robinson has had some health issues as well. He's a great edge setter. They love that about him. So I think he will be on this team regardless, unless he's not healthy. But I think if you see a guy who performed in the preseason so far, like Burke, and he continues to stand out in the 3rd game, I think there's a very good chance he makes this roster.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I do. And that's funny. I was going to bring that up about Isaac, because I do think he's the odd man out here. And he hasn't really turned heads in training camp so far. And again, with the injuries. So to me, it would be pretty much an easy switch for me. Next question.
Do you guys know this about Burke? He was a commit to University of Maryland to play lacrosse. He was a lacrosse player, and then he signed with Michigan to play lacrosse and football, and then decommitted from Michigan to just go play football at Texas. Did you guys know that?
No, John, I'm still caught up to why you interrupted and just butt in again without letting us know that you had something to say. God, John.
That's all right, John. I liked your tidbit. That was good.
Well done, John.
So he fits into the Maryland culture, and he likes crabs too. So you know what? He might well just be a match made in heaven.
All right. So I need a prediction, and we'll start with Mike this time. On this roster, give me a player besides Lamar that's going to have a breakout year and can put them into the Super Bowl.
That's a tough one. Who made that question? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, that was me. I should have thought about it a little bit more. No, I think for me, if you can't talk about like already superstar guys. We're talking about guys who would surprise you to have such a fantastic year. I know John's going to say Mike Green, so I'm going to leave that for him. So personally for me, I'm going to say it's going to be a receiver other than Zay Flowers, and it's either going to be I think it's going to be Jacoby Lane. I think it could be Tez Walker maybe, but I think it's going to be Jacoby Lane.
Oh, good job, Mike. Man, I like it. I like it. John, how about you?
I was gonna go with a receiver as well.
What?
I
Is his
was
name Mike Green? Did he switch positions?
no, I think LeJohntay Wester is gonna have a breakout season. I think he's going to really do a. You know, we saw it in the preseason last year, returning the kicks. I think he's gonna give the offense good field position with his punt returns, with his kick returns, and then they've said, you know, he's been doing some stuff in the offense as well. So I think he's gonna be a breakout guy.
Yes, Michael.
Wester needs to run more norther and souther. If he keeps running easter and wester, we're going to be in trouble. He's got to go up the
Oh,
field with his
goodness.
speed. That's what I want to see on the punt returns.
Is that your dad
North or
joke?
souther, forget your name. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't disagree with that at all. Oh man, who do I think? Oh, there's so much here. I mean, Mike Green's a good one, I guess. I don't see it. I mean, I'm not allowed to say Trey Hendrickson, right? Because he's already a superstar.
I think he's pretty
But
good.
That's a good one. Ooh. Hmm. I'm trying to think of a position that can put a team on its back, right? And it's like maybe Stark, Malachi Stark. I mean, he could be a big difference maker. And based on, I mean, he showed a lot last year, and there's a lot of improvements here. I just don't know if a safety could really do it, could really make the difference to take a team to the Super Bowl. But Mike, I mean, Jacoby Lane all of a sudden comes in because of all this nonsense going on with Bateman, and he's your number two all of a sudden, and he's giving you a different look than what Zay is. That on top of a couple different looks at the tight end. I mean, yeah, I think that's a pretty. I'm always nervous with rookies and how they're going to come out, but there's always one receiver that shows out in the league. Why not? Why not Jacoby Lane? I mean, the rest of the NFL's caught on, so that's pretty. That's a good one, Mike. All right. So this week the Ravens play the Commanders. Anything specific you guys are looking this week? Mike, anything that you think that you still need to see from them to kind of solidify and make you happy and mark off the list, we've achieved this in the preseason.
Yeah, I just want to see. I think penalties. There's an uptick in penalties last week. They had 9 penalties. The previous week it was a lot less. I want to see discipline. I also want to see. I want to see if the defense can continue to perform at the level it's been performing at. So consistency on the defense. I don't think there's every game in and game out, they're going to give up less than a touchdown. But I want to see them, 2 touchdowns or less, on the board for the Commanders. And then offensively, is this Fanano guy for real? Like, is he going to do the same thing he did in the first 2 games, which is basically just be poised, kind of make good throws in spaces for the most part, where his players can go make catches and look like he's in command of the offense? Because if he is, there's a case that you could keep him as your third, or I mean, even there is a slight chance that they cut Snoop and maybe make him your two. Now, a lot of people poo-poo that because of the veteran nature of Snoop and the relationship between him and Lamar and how that all works, but you never know in this league.
I would say if they need the money, and depending on what it would do to cut Snoop, that would make sense. The only issue is there seems to be an easy I said this last week, an easy transition between Lamar to Snoop, where if Nano plays a little different style, but Snoop plays a lot different than Lamar. Lamar holds onto the ball a lot. I mean, like Bruce Cunningham came on here and told us the same thing, Mike, that what makes him great also is one of his biggest flaws, holds onto the ball too long, but it also makes him great because he can take off. Snoop makes quick decisions. That's what you want. I mean, at least he did last year against Green Bay in a big must-win game. Um, yeah, I could see it. For me, I don't. I want them to stay healthy. I want them to. I want the kicking and the punting to continue to stay consistent. I want offensive line to continue to improve together and start. And I know not all of them are going to be starting together because the tackles aren't in there. I want the defense to continue to, or the defensive line to continue to get pressure and continue to push. Um, for me, I just can't pinpoint one thing. I just want them to continue to get better and ready to play. John?
I want to see the offensive line actually do their job in pass protection because on Saturday they were just getting run over, and Snoop was running for his life to start the game. So that's the number one thing I think I want to see is the offensive line doing it. But the second thing is, like you said, can the defense keep that intensity up? Can we keep the intensity up with our second string guys? Can we cause more turnovers? Can we get to the quarterback with four? Can we, are they? I mean, and the other question is, this is week 3. Do you have to have the roster down to 53 by Monday? So are you playing the guys who, are your second, third string guys who basically are already on the roster, or are you basically playing all your bubble people and preventing injury with the other guys? So that's kind of, I think the week 3 is kind of a crapshoot as to, what are you going to actually work on, or what do you want to see in comparison to the first 2 weeks when you have guys who are actually going to see the field on Sundays.
Very good. Very good. Okay, Mike has a very interesting question on here. What Ravens should be on your fantasy football roster for either redraft or dynasty or both, and in what rounds? Oh boy. Well, to me, there's a couple. Um, I would say Lamar, number one. If you're playing in a either or dynasty or redraft, um, depends on how you draft. If you're like me, you probably won't get much Lamar because you don't take quarterbacks early. Lamar probably will be a third round or fourth round pick if you really want him in fantasy football. If you're playing super flex, you take him much earlier than that. Derrick Henry, obviously, in the first couple rounds. How do you want to do this, Mike? Did you want me to just you want us each to spout these off, or you want to go around the room? What do you want to do here?
Let's just circle a little bit. I think obviously you're going to be the expert in this one. But if I'm somebody, I think Zay Flowers is obviously somebody that is draftable in either type of league. He should be in a 1,000-yard receiver again, I would say, right, Jason? And
Absolutely.
those aren't easy to come by. And he gets, I don't know how many receptions he averages per game, but he gets a bunch of targets, that's for sure. So I think if you're looking for high volume of targets, that would make sense as a fantasy football player. So I don't know if he's not of the top tier, Jason, but would you say he's in the tier just below those top wide receivers, or where would you put him?
Yeah, I mean, I have him like right. I mean, he's like a wide receiver 2 for me. Maybe, I mean, usually he's going in the third or fourth round in most drafts that I'm seeing. It's great. I mean, I would love to have him on my team. I think he has a career year in yards and receptions this year, and probably touchdowns, depending on how they want to change things. And a lot of that's going to depend on the offense, right? Obviously, Derrick Henry's a big one. I think second round's probably realistic. All of these guys should be on your dynasty team, by the way, that we've mentioned so far too. And then, I mean, as far as those would be the main guys. Then, if you in dynasty, if you want to take a flyer on Lane, by all means, Mark Henry, wow, Mark Andrews, same thing. I mean, he's actually going undrafted in some drafts that I've seen as well. So I think that might be because Lamar and his relationship. So to me, I'd keep an eye out for Mark Andrews. John, what are you seeing? What are you thinking?
I don't do the whole I don't follow fantasy as close as you guys, but I was gonna ask you guys something. Just the way that we've seen the defense and stuff play. Are the Ravens defense and special teams worth a shot later in the draft?
It all depends. Like the way that I play is I don't like Mike and I just had a draft this past weekend. I didn't take a defense or a kicker. I'm going to pick up a different defensive kicker every week. I don't care who it is. I just play the matchups. But the Ravens are definitely one that you will be a usable team if things translate. Like you're not going to throw them out week 1 and feel great about it, right? Like because there's some question marks. But it could be the steal of the draft too, where like if you do any mock drafts and you have like the simulator that gives you grades, they're not too high on the Ravens. They're like, they're out there like 11, past 11, something like that. But to me, I mean, yeah, they could be a surprise. I mean, maybe Loop late for a kicker. Again, I don't draft kickers, but I mean, they're going to score. They should score points. So that's always good to have a kicker that comes in there. Yes, Mike. You look like you want
Yeah,
to say
no,
something.
defensively, I agree with you, Jason. Like, unless there's, I think there might be two or three defenses every year that are just stud defenses. And if you don't have one of those defenses, it's almost more important to see who you're playing, who that defense is playing against than it is to keep and hold on to a defense. But I think the Ravens will be a very playable defense in fantasy football this year. And they should be in the mix as far as one of those drop ad defenses, because you've seen the consistency. I only question I would have is turnovers. Will they create turnovers? Because they had issues in the past. I have optimism with what I've seen in the preseason and with Jesse Minter. But if they can create turnovers, they're a way more playable defense, because that is such a big deal in fantasy football. And then can they score? Can they score touchdowns off those turnovers?
Yeah, I mean that's it. That's right. I mean, you just find exactly what you're looking for, right? I mean, defenses out there right now, like the Texans. I mean, if you have the opportunity to draft them, but if you're playing what I think is the right way to play fantasy football, you're not really taking a defense or a kicker into the last two rounds. I in the draft Mike and I were in, like I salivated because we were taking there were quarterbacks taken in the second round. There were kickers and defense taken long before they should have. I was like, oh, this is terrific. I'm like, this guy's not going to get like come to me, and I'm like, what the heck? All right, sure.
That wasn't
We'll
a
just take
That
him.
wasn't like a free Yahoo league or something, was it, Jason?
No, this was not. It was not by any means free. It's one of my more expensive leagues, actually. All right. Well, that'll wrap it up with the Ravens tonight. Well, one thing fantasy football wise too, and also just NFL in general, Ashton Genty, the running back for the Raiders, went down on Sunday with an apparent knee injury, which actually turned out to be an ankle sprain. So then they said like high ankle. Now they're saying lower ankle, which makes Jason happy because Jason drafted him in the second round on Sunday. And this is my, let me tell you, sorry, guys. Sorry, whoever runs our other league. You do not have a fantasy football draft with preseason games left. That is the biggest no-no that you can have, especially when you're charging a decent amount of money to join the league. Like, wait just one more week. Holy mackerel. Because now we got to deal with this stuff. Yes, Mike.
Also, another suggestion, and I don't know this gentleman, but don't change the time of the draft on the day of the draft, because I don't know. We've all got families, lives, and kids, and we kind of have to organize around it, especially if it's not a free Yahoo league, for example. That's my
Very
little rant.
true, Michael. But see, last year we started it. We were supposed to draft at 9. We started at 10. This year, I got the text message. We are going to go at 9:30. I was like, "Yeah, we are." I I called this with Colin Friday night. I was like, "This is going to be a disaster." And then
I
just
got
watching the draft go on, I was like, "This is great."
Yeah, I like there were at least three auto picks I had because I was coaching soccer at the same time as I was drafting. So, thank you, Brock Purdy. Thank you, computer, for grabbing that quarterback. I didn't have a quarterback yet, so good job, CPU. Well done.
Yes, you did. You took two quarterbacks. You have two quarterbacks on your roster. Look at you, Mike.
It wasn't me. It wasn't.
It
I'm like,
was.
yeah, it was like that Shaggy song. Remember that Shaggy song back in the day? It wasn't me.
Oh God, that's funny. All right. Well, Mike, do you have a game for us tonight, or where are you at as
I
far as
do.
that
I do have a
goes?
quick dad bod feud for y'all. A
Ooh,
little twist to it. If you got the music, let's key that bad boy up.
yeah. Let's do that, John.
Yeah. I'm no Steve Harvey, but I'm going to host today's episode of Dad Bods Family Feud, in which Jason and John will compete against one another. I should give John some type of handicap, but I don't know how to do that. So we're just going to go head to head. And today's categories deal with Major League Baseball hitting. Okay, now it's going to be a little different today. I have the top 10 list for home run hitters in Major League Baseball this year. And all I'm
Ooh.
asking for you to name is 4 of them. If you name all 4, just like we've played Dad Bod Family Feud in the past, you're the winner. If you get 3 strikes, we pass it off to the opponent and they get a chance to guess. If they guess 1, they get the point for that round. Does everybody understand?
Yes.
Anybody in the top 10, you just need to name 4 of them. Home run hitters in MLB
Jason.
baseball. Who you got?
Jason.
Go ahead,
Kyle
Jason.
Schwarber.
Yes, he is leading the league with 39 home runs as of the moment we are speaking. So,
Do
Jason,
I
do you want to
play?
pass or play?
Oh, John. I don't know, John. You're a coward. I'm going to play. I'm going to play.
All right, Jason, you just got to name 3 other
3 more?
top 10 home run hitters in Major League Baseball this year.
Junior Caminero.
Junior is 4th with 35 bombs. You are halfway there. You are Bon Jovi. Let's keep going.
Shohei Ohtani.
Whew. You squeaked in there. He is tied for 9th with 30 bombs. So you just need to name 1 more top 10 hitter in Major League Baseball to get this category.
Matt Olson.
Matt Olson is tied for 2nd with 36. Jason gets the point.
Yay.
John, for S's and G's, can you give me 1 more guy on the list?
Pete.
Pete Alonso has 31. He is 8th on the list. Well done, my friend.
Nice job.
Just
John.
for all of our listeners out there, well done, Jason. Schwarber, 39. Yordan Alvarez, 36. Matt Olson, 36. Caminero, 35. Hunter Goodman, who we'll see in Colorado, has 35. Ben Rice, DH for the Yankees, 34. PCA, 33. Alonso, another Pete, 31. Ohtani and James Wood are both tied for 9th at 30. Well done. All right, boys. Next category is RBI leaders, top 10 in Major League Baseball.
John.
John.
Rice.
Rice. That's a carbohydrate. Does it have a first name?
Ben.
Dude, I mean, by the thread of threads, he is tied for 10th with 82 RBIs. Would you like to play or pass?
I'll play.
Yay!
All right. Yes. All right, John. You just got to name 3 others in the top 10.
Alvarez.
Okay. Yordan Alvarez is 5th with 90 RBIs. Well done.
Junior Cabanero.
Junior is 7th, tied for 7th with 84.
And then let's go with Pete. Let's go with Pete.
Pete who?
Pete Alonso.
The Polar Bear.
The Polar Bear.
Polar Bear is 88 RBIs. He is 6th. John, you get a point, my friend. 1-1.
Holy
See, I think I could
moly,
name some more. I
John.
could name some more too.
Jason, can you name one just for fun?
Oh.
Can either of you name the league leader, the MLB leader?
It's not PCA, is it?
Nope. PCA is 9th. He has 83 RBIs.
Oh God.
It's not Schwarber.
He is.
It's somebody. No, it's a rookie. Isn't it? Because I just read
in
something.
the National League.
No idea.
It is
What
Sal
division?
Stewart.
See,
Cincinnati.
rookie. That's right.
Yes, first baseman for the Reds. He has 98 RBI and 27 home runs this year.
Fantastic.
Pretty good. All right. Last category, and this is for the win. This will be fun. Top 10 MLB players in stolen bases.
Oh.
John.
Don't jump at once, boys.
John.
John.
Ellie De La Cruz.
Nada. Jason.
Really?
He is not on the top 10.
Oh, Lord.
Ellie is number 17. Tied for 17.
Not even close.
Bobby Witt.
All right, Jason. Tied for second. Bobby Witt, 35 steals. Would you like to play or pass?
How many more do I have to name?
3 more in the top 10. 3
Oh,
more.
my gosh.
Do you want to keep your fate in your own hands or pass your fate to John to seal it for you?
I will. All right, I'll play.
Yes.
All right.
I love it. Everybody's
I
playing.
need 3 more.
3 more. 3 more stolen base top 10 guys.
All right. P. Crow Armstrong has got to be on there, right?
PCA
He's in top
is
10?
on the list. He is number 5 with 32. So that's 2.
Nice. What about
Jason is thinking quietly about
Jazz
who is
Chisholm?
going to be a stolen base. Jazz Chisholm tied for second with Bobby Witt with 35.
What's
You
wrong,
just need to
John?
name
You're reacting.
one
That
more.
was the only one I could think of besides Bobby Witt and PCA.
Who else is fast?
All right. You got 20 seconds. I'm going to count in my head.
Where is that? I don't know. This would be a guess. Jose Caballero.
That is correct. 30
Really?
stolen bases for the Yankees. He is shortstop for the Yankees, 6th place, tied for 6th.
Who's number
Jason.
1?
Well done, Jason.
Yay!
Clapping sounds, John, for Jason because he is the winner, 2-1. But John, you covered the spread, which was at 0.5 points for you in this Family Feud. Well done. You got a point. So the question for you two, and Jason just asked it. Yeah, thank you. Who leads the league in steals?
It's somebody. I think it's another guy.
It is
that-
somebody.
I don't know. National League or American League?
National League second baseman. He plays in the NL East.
Nunez?
That is correct. Nasim
For the
Nunez, second baseman for
Nationals?
the Nats. He has 42 stolen bases. So just running that down. Nunez, 42. Chisholm, 35. Chandler Simpson with the Rays has 35. Bobby Witt Jr. with 35. Pete Crow Armstrong, 32. Jose Caballero, who Jason guessed, was 30. Fernando Tatis, right fielder for the Padres, has 30. Jose Ramirez still doing it. 29 stolen bases for the Cleveland Guardians. Estuary Ruiz for the Miami Marlins, 29. And then with rounding out the top 10, tied is CJ Abrams for the shortstop for the Nats and Otto Lopez, shortstop for the Miami Marlins.
How old is Ramirez? He's got to be like in his
34, I think.
mid 30s somewhere.
I
He's
think
still got
34.
29 stolen bases. That's pretty impressive because he's a middle of the order hitter.
Yeah. I mean, every year he's a 30 guy, just about, right? Something along those lines. All right. Well, that is all I got for tonight. Do you guys have anything else you want to mention?
I do.
Yes, Mike.
I have a dad
Oh,
joke.
boy.
I feel like that should
Oh, we
definitely
forgot
be-
it. You didn't put it on the list.
It's
You
on
didn't
there.
put it on
It's
the.
on
No,
there.
it ain't. It ain't.
It's on. Well, it didn't
No.
show up because it's definitely on my list. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Oh, it's your last
Either
one.
way.
Never mind. It did. It's the very last thing.
I'm gonna
I
tell
stand
it either
corrected.
way, regardless of if it's on there. It doesn't
Go
matter.
ahead,
it's
Mike.
coming.
Give us a dad
All
joke.
right, this one's fun. Okay, why did the produce boat sink?
It was full of lettuce.
Why did the produce boat sink, John?
I don't know. Is it full of lettuce?
No, it had too many leaks. Too many
Oh my
leaks.
gosh, that's so terrible.
Yes.
I can't take it. I love it. All right. All right, fellas. Well, everyone out there, thanks for joining us tonight. Andrew Cordula, Jeremy Fritz, thanks for tuning in on the Facebook and letting us know what you thought. Again, we are part of the Spark Podcast Network. Again, you will find out in a second where you can hear us anywhere you get your what is this thing called? Podcast. So for Mike Frisky, for John Landscraner, I'm Jason Weisbecker. Before I tune off, I want you guys to know we will be here Saturday at 10:30 and Friday for our fantasy football fix at 10:30 as well, with special guest Ken Zalis from Pressbox. So, folks, come with your fantasy questions. Fantasy football, nothing weird. All right, again, for John Landscraner, Michael Frisky, I'm Jason Weisbecker. Have a great evening.
Don't forget to subscribe to Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports on Red Circle, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your free podcasts. And while you're at it, leave us a review. It really helps us out. We're trying to spread the good word about Baltimore sports far and wide. Follow us on social media for more behind-the-scenes actions, memes, and bad sports takes. You can find us at Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports on Instagram, and Dad Bods, Crab Cakes, and Sports on our Facebook page. Until next time, keep rocking those dad bods, eating those crab cakes, and never miss the game.